everyone, welcome to Art Club. I'm Miss Liz and today we're going to be creating something really neat. We're going to be creating foam prints. So here is just one sample. It's a picture of a cat. So making foam prints is a really cool way to make the same design over and over again. Almost like a copy machine, but just a little bit more work. So today we're going to be creating a design that you can use for greeting cards, maybe birthday party invitations. You can make several different copies of the same one and display them on your wall. There's just many possibilities. So let me show you these samples so you can be thinking about what you would like to create. So this is just a picture of a cat, the head, some flowers with some little twirly designs. And this is a cupcake and it says happy birthday. So that would make a really cute birthday card. So next we're going to go over what's inside your kits. So you've got several pieces of paper that we're going to be using. This is a foam roller brush, also could be called a brayer. And you have several sheets of foam sheets, and that's what we're going to be using. You can also use a styrofoam plate. You can use styrofoam container from takeout food. So there's several different ways that you can make this project. So once you run through all of your foam sheets and you want to keep creating and make more, go ahead and use those takeout containers and paper plates. You're also going to get a paper plate, and you're going to get a kind of a cup filled with paint. Some things that you'll need from home are a paper towel, just in case you make a mess, and a pencil. So I just want to show you real quick one more sample. This is the happy birthday one. And I want to point out that if you want to have words on your foam sheet, you're going to have to spell everything backwards. You're going to have to write your letters backwards because it is a reflection of the words. So this is how I created happy birthday, and then when I put it on the paper and took it off, it came out the correct way. Does that make sense? So while you're also thinking about what you want to put on your foam sheet, I want to show you what I did with this cat one. So all of these lines here are where you have the white lines in the background. And then you can see the insides of the ears don't have paint on it, and that's because I filled it in and I pressed down just like I was pressing for everything else. So that's how I ended up with the ears like that. So if you want yours to be a little bit more detailed, great. Or maybe you want to start with something simple on your first one, that's great too. But you've got several of these foam sheets to try out. Since I have blue paint with me today, I am going to create a fish. So you don't have to do the same thing I'm doing. You can be creative and do whatever you want. But if you would like to do a fish, just follow along. So remember, this is just a simple drawing on the paper. It's not on the foam sheet yet. Just trying to get an idea of how I want it to look. So I kind of want this to be a little bit more like a fin, not as rounded. I'm going to draw some designs on here so it looks like they're scales. So I'm just alternating these little half circles. so they look like scales. I'm just guessing where that comes off. Let's see, I think I'll add just some lines here. Just because it's really fun to see what you can create with those lines. And then this doesn't look that great. I think it looks upside down for you. There we go. So now I'm going to add maybe a few air bubbles. So that's my sample. So when you get yours ready, go ahead and grab your foam sheet, and then you're just going to redraw your picture onto the foam sheet. You're going to want to press a little bit hard with your pencil because you're going to want those indentations. Like all of these lines here, I can feel them in this foam sheet. So ideally, those areas that have those indentations will not have paint in them, and that's how we see the white lines. If paint does go in there, it'll still have enough of an indentation that the white lines will show up. If you want to sketch on a little bit lighter and then go back over it and press harder, you can do that. I've done that a couple of times on some of these samples. I know I'm going to put my eyes right there. I'm going to press pretty hard. There we go. So I'm okay with the shape of this rounded fish. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to press hard. When I first drew, I can feel a very light indentation, but now that I'm pressing harder, I can feel it. So that's what you want. You want to press hard on here so you have that indentation. Doesn't look quite the same as my original drawing. All right, so I'm going to add some lines in my back fins just for fun. Again, I'm pressing hard. I think I'll add a couple in here as well. And how's yours coming along? Are you pressing hard enough? Can you feel those indentations? Okay, so there is my fish. So you go ahead and continue working on yours. If you need to pause the video, go ahead But my next step is to make sure I have my paper bag on my work surface so I don't make a mess. And then I'm going to get my paper plate and I'm going to dump out some paint. You don't have to dump out all of it because you may not want to make all of your foam prints at the same time, so you don't want it to dry out. And then I'm going to take my foam roller and I'm just going to press a little bit of pressure on here and try to cover all of the yellow. If you can't get it all covered, go ahead and dump some more paint on there. Having the paint spread out nicely on your foam roller is going to help the process when you're putting it onto your foam print. All right, let's see. That might look pretty good. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. And then I'm going to take my foam piece that I just drew on and I am going to add the paint. So you're going to give a little bit of pressure on here as well. Maybe not quite as much as on the paper plate. But you're going to want to try to cover as much as you can without pressing too hard. If you press too hard, it is going to go in those indentations. All right, so next I'm going to bring over my white sheet of paper. And I'm going to just lay it down on there. And I'm just going to press. I'm not really going to rub. I'm not going to try to move it because if you move it, where's my sample? I created one earlier. I don't know where it went. Let me see. Oh, this is the first happy birthday one I made. And I accidentally slid the foam sheet, so it didn't quite turn out as nicely as the second one. But this is definitely something that takes practice, and that what makes it fun. All right, let's pull it off and see what we got. And there we go. There's my fish. It looks awesome. All right, one more look at my fish. That turned out so good. So some ideas of things that you can do. I could take this fish part. I could let the paint dry. I could wash it off the foam. I could use different colors, and I could place, 4 fish as a design in a frame on my wall, and that would look great. I can make this into a card. There's just so many different things that you can do. So enjoy working on your prints. I would love to see how they turn out. If you'd like to send them to me at youth@newlenoxlibrary.org, that would be great. And thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon at the library.